the family out there, man. I want to come talk to the family today. Yeah, I want to come talk to the family briefly today. I haven't been live since Sunday, since the last live stream that I made on the ground. Um, I have like an hour and a half, I think, video coming where edited video where I went around the city um, that Monday and all Monday and Tuesday, and I recorded video all across the city, like all across the city of the carnage that actually went down after the looting and rioting. And in some of the video, you guys will see people that morning, that next morning, they were still looting. Um, the city, the city was on fire. I mean, there was explosions everywhere. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the Philadelphia local news as opposed to other cities, but there was uh, bombs being detonated and set off inside in banks and ATM machines. They were blowing up ATM to the point where a 24-year-old man was killed. They went to detonate a bomb and it didn't go off. And I guess he must have went near it and it went off and killed him instantly. Um, that'll be in the video. That'll be talked about in the video. You had that night when they instituted the curfew. You had certain pockets of the city where uh, they were they were basically blocking off parts of the neighborhood where the police couldn't even get through. I mean, literally chasing the police out of certain neighborhoods. I mean, it was. Now I'm leading this up because I want to go somewhere with this, right? You had young men, you had young men, the ones with the tattoos on their face, the ones that society reject. These young men was coming together, and they was blocking off neighborhoods. I'm talking about running the police out. The National Guard didn't come into that morning, but the police couldn't control anything. I mean, it was like anarchy. It was like total chaos. Um, Businesses were destroyed everywhere. Black businesses wasn't touched for the most part in the city of Philadelphia. I can't speak for Atlanta or other cities, but I know here in Philadelphia, um, as you will see in the video that I post tomorrow, um, black businesses wasn't touched, but Asians, Korean and Chinese, a lot of their sneaker stores were burned to the ground, literally burned to the ground. Some of the stores were blown up. Um, it was a lot of chaos, man. It was a lot of chaos. People were killed. Um, there was an incident where two guys tried to break into a gun store without a gun. I mean, this is the most idiotic thing I've heard in my life. Um, Kenny, hey, check this out, Kenny. Hold for a second. I need to put my banner up. Yeah, you had two guys tried to break into the gun store, brother D Nubian, without a gun, and the owner blew one of their heads off. Literally shot him in the head, blew his brains out. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff going on, man. Like there was a lot of shooting. Um, there was an incident where six people was ran over on Broad Street. Um, two people was killed in a car accident. Like it was different shootings. They were shooting at the police. It was a bunch of chaos. Now, when I speak in this manner, does George Macon want something like this to happen? Absolutely not. I care about the wealth. I care about the welfare. I actually care about the welfare of young black men. But when you have when you have these type of bad things continuously happen, at some point it's going to be a powder keg waiting to explode. Now, a lot of these kids that we throw away and we think that are dumb, we think that are slow. No, they're not slow. They're not as dumb as you think they are. I went all around the city talking to these kids, and you'll see interviewing kids, just asking them questions. And these kids are not as dumb as you think they are. They see everything that's going on. I had one young man talked to me, 25 years old, with all the tattoos on his face, his neck. He was out on a post on his grind. And he was like, yeah, man, we tired of it, man. We tired of being crash dummies out here. We tired of, we tired of seeing what they did to y'all and my grandfather's generation and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people will be mad at the young kids for looting. But I'm gonna say what I've been saying. I haven't seen any video, and I haven't been live for 3 days. I've been in the bushes watching. I haven't seen any video, not one video, from one black YouTuber where they're calling out the black politicians on the Democratic side, the liberal side, and the Republican side. How come if the Republicans are saying, the black Republicans are saying, black conservatives are saying, we're trying to get better policies pushed for the black community on behalf of black people, and the liberal side are saying the same, how come these guys can't work together to get some type of policy pushed? These two guys cross over the bars and work together just as black people to get some type of policy pushed. See, the looting that you see with the youth on the ground is the end result of something that was supposed to happen before you got to the looting part. For years, we've had decades of failure from black leadership. Men in suits, decades. For the last 40 years, it's just been nothing but failure. We watch what's going on, Twin Man? We watch unfair crack laws get pushed in 84, 86. We watched unfair crack laws get passed in 94. We watched unfair laws passed in the 70s during the heroin epidemic. All while you have black leadership on the Republican and Democratic side. Nothing tangible has gotten done to the point where other groups will respect us. So what I see is a bunch of people condemning the looting, condemning the youth. But I'm gonna tell you, most people will condemn the youth and the looting because as adults, that's a representation of our failures. See, you mad because they burning down stores. But how many of y'all are willing to go in business and have your own stores in your own community? Let me ask you a question. What has Kroger or Safeway or ShopRite, all these corporations, Thriftway and Pathmark and Superfresh and what else? All of the sneaker stores and all these things. What have they done? Let me tell you. So they say we have a $1 trillion spending power, right, in the black community, right? But in the black community, we own no property, we own no houses, right? So we got all of this spending power, Twin Man. Guess who we give that money to? All those Chinese stores on the East Coast that go up and down from Boston, all the way down to Virginia, all the way throughout the Midwest and St. Louis, Chicago. All of those Chinese stores. How much money has those Chinese given back to black schools and the communities that they make their billions in? The Chinese have made so much money that when you go to Atlantic City, they got their own casinos within the casinos. Black America, whom everybody hates, whom everybody dislikes, whom everybody shows disdain, the Chinese should bow on their knees to black Americans. We've been patronizing their stores for 45 years. We've created their American dream for them by buying their 4 chicken wings and shrimp fried rice, their beef and broccolis. We've sent their kids to some of the best schools America has to offer by patronizing their places, even when they disrespected us, even when it was allegations of them selling us plastic, allegations of them selling us animal food, cat, dog, rat. We patronized their stores, but yet and still, I saw George Floyd being killed by a white cop and the Asian cop standing guard and did nothing about it. While at the same time, they're complaining about racism here in America, but we get a chance to see videos and what they're doing in China to other Africans. But I got black people on the ground having sympathy for the damn Chinese stores. Because as black people, you've been down for so long, you can't even see yourself owning your own store. How come that $1 trillion spending power can't go through black hands? I watched the Rite Aids and the Walgreens burn them. They burned them down, blew them up. Black folk is mad. Oh, I can't believe these niggas. I'm tired of these niggas. White man, come get these niggas. I'm tired of them. But yet and still, you complain about racism. You complain about economic policy. You complain about gentrification. You complain about it all. But when the powder keg explodes and the youth, which is your children, runs wild, first thing you do is turn on your children for the very people that you say are racist. The very people you claim you hate, you turn on your children for. You turn on your children for the very people that you claim you hate. I'm witnessing it here in Philadelphia now. You can't go to the gas station in the city. You got to go out to the county to get some gas. You can't go to your Wawa right now. You're inconvenienced. So now you're mad at your own people. You're destroying your own communities. I thought we didn't have no communities. I thought we was being gentrified out of the community. We're guests. There's no ownership. I'm like one of 4 homeowners on a block with like 50 houses. No, 60. 30 on one side, 30 on the other side going down. 4 homeowners. I'm one of them. There's not a plethora of homeowners in this area. Kenny, thanks for the Cash App, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. There's not a plethora of homeowners in this area. Where is the plethora of black businesses? We don't pay the property taxes like that to take care of our schools and roads. Asians and white Russians own the communities that we live in. You're going to have civil disobedience. You're going to have discord. When you look at America, the way America was created and this Constitution, you had a group of white men that rebelled against the Queen, and they fought a war. They had riots all in this country. No taxation without representation. That's what America was built on. The foundation and the fabric of America was built on rioting and protesting and murder. That's what it was built on. But you Negroes ain't willing to do what it takes. Every time you want to push it to the limit, as soon as it get ugly, you want to rein it back in. No, we can't do it this way. You know why? Because you Negroes are used to being told what to do by white people. White people are used to telling you when to do it, how to do it. Don't protest this way, protest that way. This is the wrong place. This is the right place. Don't go up that way, don't go down this way. Don't do it the way, don't even do it the way I said it, because don't do it, just don't do it at all. That's what y'all used to. And as soon as you start seeing black people rebel, it's a bunch of Negroes. Y'all better stop doing that. You better get down here. You better stop it. You know you can't go up there and mess around with them white folks. Y'all don't want to be liberated. Y'all don't want to be free. I'll try to see Omar. I'm gonna definitely check it out. Y'all ain't willing to do what it takes. There was always bloodshed on this land for things to change. Two dynamics happening here, right? Two dynamics. Now, one thing that I have a problem with, we worked for years to try to get black people to unite. And for a long time, it's went on deaf ears. I'm talking about my brothers in Chicago, my BDs, my GDs, my Stones, my Vice Lords, all unite. St. Louis, Detroit, Philadelphia, we've been trying to unite these brothers. the blue collar workers, unite them all. Many attempts. But all of a sudden, twin man, Ahmaud Arbery is murdered on video. Breonna Taylor is murdered and her boyfriend is arrested. And none of these stories, there was no type of arrest or justice until it hit national news. So it would have went on deaf ears, twin man, unless it hit national news, right? Then we seen the Darquan Jones case in Iowa, where he was beaten badly by 3 white men. Then we see the George Floyd case, where they put the knee on his neck and they killed a man, right? And all of a sudden, the country exploded. But the problem I have is 2 things, right? Well, 1 thing. But there's a good thing that can come out of it. Right, that's just the shit we see, twin. You're absolutely right, my brother. You're absolutely right. Now, I believe that a lot of this stuff around the country is being orchestrated by white people behind the scenes. Black people have been trying to get black people to unite for a long time. But in the inner city areas, I've seen black people fight with the police and looting. But downtown, all across the country, I've seen droves of white people. White people fighting and clashing with the police. And I'm saying to myself, where are all these fucking white people coming from on the front line like this? Something ain't right all across America. I mean, I see white people every fucking where. And I'm wondering, I'm like, something is fishy. First, we was quarantined in and we couldn't come outside. Now all of a sudden, this shit break out and you got white people on the front lines everywhere. And I'm walking around with the camera and I'm questioning white people. What are you here for? When did you start caring about the plight of black people? I mean, because it's only been 401 years that we've been complaining and it's been going on deaf ears. I mean, y'all like to listen to our hip hop. You like to go get some black dick or go get a natural hair black woman. But when it came to our plight, we said Black Lives Matter. Y'all said All Lives Matter. We said Black Lives Matter. You said Blue Lives Matter. They killed black people. Y'all set up trust funds for the people that killed them. I mean, all kinds of funds and stuff for them. So where is, when we talked about reparations, how come we didn't see all of these white people on the front line fighting for our reparations under the ADOS movement in support? Where is all these white allies come from? Who are they? What's the agenda? What's the agenda? Huh? Black Lives Matter is back in full force. I see Black Lives, they spray painting Black Lives Matter all over things. Brothers in the hood, the sisters in the hood ain't fucking with Black Lives Matter. They don't care nothing about that. We talking about reparations and developing our communities. So what I'm telling y'all today is, don't fall for the fake unification with allied white people or even the Black Lives Matter movement. You got to look at the Black Lives Matter mission statement and look at some of the tactics. They're allied with a lot of different groups that's not allied with us. Ask yourself, just ask yourself, y'all. I'm not going to get loud. I ain't going to get nothing. I'm just going to drop some real game. Just ask yourself, how far are your white allies willing to go on the behalf of black people in the black community? Huh? Just think of this, right? If a water sniper, if your sister or your girl or your brother or somebody tells some family secrets outside of the family, and they constantly do it, you would cut them off. You would look at them as a traitor, right? They would probably be ostracized from the family, right? So what do you think white America, with the infrastructure that they have, are going to do to white people that side with us for reparations, that side with us for policy change to take away white privilege? What do you think is going to happen? Are those white people willing to lose their livelihood, their jobs, and sometimes their life on the behalf of black people? If they're not willing to do that, if they're not willing to go that far, then you don't have white allies. because they will turn on you in a heartbeat. They will turn the mission into something that you don't want it to be. There's going to end up being more rights for gays and more rights pushed for white nonprofit groups that's supposedly helping the black community. That's who's going to benefit. Nonprofit groups that supposedly be helping the black community. That's who's going to benefit from the so-called change if you guys don't get out in front of it. I really need somebody to tell George, somebody in the chat room, tell George, when have you seen black people just fully united across America in the last 30 years, fighting on behalf of black people? We've been trying to get it done. How all of a sudden it just popped off like that? So now, if it was authentic and it was true, it's Wednesday in Philadelphia. You have protesters, but downtown is 90% white. Where's my brothers and sisters that were supposed to be united? It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. This protest ain't on the behalf of black people. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to tell you something. If you black people really want to get something done, this is the perfect time. Get off your ass. I'm a cuss now. Get off your motherfucking ass. And get out there in the street with your fucking people. Because if you don't, then you deserve everything they give you. It's time to take a stand and fight back. You don't need fucking white people fighting for you. In every city across America, right now, outside those municipal buildings, we should be out there pushing back with the threat that we will do this again and do it again and do it again and do it again until you get change. It's our fight. Stop letting white people fight for you. Stop letting other groups that don't got your best interests speak on your behalf. Get your ass out of the goddamn TV and out of the fucking house and get out there in them streets. People keep saying, go to the voting booths. Y'all ain't going to the voting booths until you're united with a common cause. The local vote ain't going to mean a goddamn thing until we're united with a common cause of saying, this is where we're going this way. If we can unite to go fuck these stores up and to back these cops down, then we can unite right now. Because see, in the hood, in West Philly, in Southwest Philly, in North Philly, wasn't no white folks. That was all Negroes. See, Philadelphia is a very big city that's predominantly black. 51% black. It's like 800,000 black people here. And we got whole neighborhoods that's all black. So after that curfew hit, wasn't no white folks in West Philly. Is you crazy? Not when that shit was popping off. And I see young kids, they wasn't shooting at each other. They was working together to take shit out of stores. So if they can work together to do that, you niggas can work together to force these black politicians. I'm going to protest. Don't take place in the wars. Now I'm going to tell you where they should take place at. I'm going to tell you guys where they should take place at, the black protests. I'm going to tell you where the black protests should take place. We got to start ruffling some feathers of some black people. We need to have, in the city of Philadelphia, we need to have at least 200,000 black people, young people too, out on Sunday outside of all the churches, not letting nobody go in. And then that Monday, outside of the city council, not letting the black people in. The white city council members can go in, but you Negroes, y'all can't go in. We need to talk to y'all. See, if we really want to get something done, we got to do this thing like the 60s. Lock them black churches down. Once they open this up June 5th, y'all can't go in the church. Once they open this thing up June 5th now, they start opening the city up. Oh, yeah. Oh, ain't no worship of Jesus right now. Why not? Your children got something to say. We want to speak to the Black Caucus and we want the Black Caucus to write up some writings on the behalf of the Black community, and we want to see it. And we want it to be our words, not the words of the bootlicking, homogenized, tiptoeing through the tulips ass Negroes. We don't want them. We don't want them. We got some well-spoken, educated Black people. We need our own writings and policy bills written up. The Black church in Philadelphia is the heartbeat of the community. Shut those churches down. Don't let nobody in. We want to talk to the pastors. Are you willing to lose your 501(c)(3) on behalf of the liberation of Black people in our communities? Or are you going to sit back and watch us be gentrified out? Sit back and watch them kill somebody, and now they done upped it to second-degree murder, but they half the cops end up getting off in the Black community. All you're going to do is come back and say, let's pray. If y'all really want to get something done, we ain't got nothing to say to white people right now. We'll talk to white people 2 months from now. Lock down these churches because they owe the Black community. And lock down City Hall where you don't let the Black politicians in. The Black politicians are going to stand outside and talk to the fucking people. And we're going to get something done if you really want to get something done. Because see, our fight ain't just with racist white people. Our fight is with the Black people in suits that we trusted to leaders that get nothing done. And the reason why they get nothing done, 90% of it is our fault. Because we send our kids to these schools and we expect the teachers to be their parents while they're there with them. We vote for leaders and we know nothing about the policies. Most of y'all don't even know who the deputy mayor is. Most of y'all don't even know what zoning laws is. Most of y'all don't even understand how property taxes are paid. Y'all know nothing. Y'all don't even know who the local judges are. Most of y'all got sons that's on his way to court, that got to go to court, or that's locked up, that's got to go in front of a judge, and y'all don't even know the judges that's on the bench. I blame the community for our ignorance. So I'm telling you, when you see a cop with his knee on the neck of a Black man, it's because the ignorance of the Black man still reigns supreme. And we refuse to educate ourselves. Take a stand. How many of y'all are willing? Now listen. White people can come out and start protesting in droves, and we say, let's go loot. But George Macon will say, they open their cities up, let's shut the churches down. We're not just going to worship. We want to talk to the pastors. We want to talk to Black leadership. It has to be the children, the youth. The youth has to go in and demand answers. We ain't listening to none of your bullshit. We watch it. And we'll vote you out. See, a lot of us don't vote, but we'll come out to vote you out. You got to go. The problem is Black leadership. I want y'all to understand something, man. Listen to me. We come out a lot of times and we talk about this white man as the devil, right? Well, the white man don't have to be reminded about who he is. The white man history around the world speaks for itself. But look at St. Louis. Look at Chicago, the South Side. Look at Baltimore. What the hell is our Black leadership doing? Huh? Both Republican and Democrat. What are they doing? We have to have a meeting of the minds to figure out. I mean, I'm watching TV, CNN, ESPN. You got Killer Mike on there. You got Roland Martin, Michael Eric Dyson. You notice you got all the same people. Every time something happens, the same people. Year after year after year. You know how tired I am of seeing Michael Eric Dyson get on there and say a bunch of fucking jibber jabber that don't mean shit. All those big words and all those institutions that Michael Eric Dyson has worked in, he has got him and his crew has gotten no policy pushed. Are y'all listening to me? Michael Eric Dyson hasn't gotten shit done. Nothing. Jesse Jackson, he's old now, but the Rainbow Push Coalition, what the fuck are they doing? Huh? The Black Judges Union, what are they doing? How come we are so afraid to question? See, we'll call out this white man, but we will not question black leadership. Why? How about we rebel against black leadership? How about we do that? How about we do that? I mean, I watch some TV. Every time there's a murder, Benjamin Crump is on there. Now they got Lee Merritt. You got what's her name? Auntie something out there in LA. She's been in there in office for years. Maxine Waters. I mean, when are we gonna get? Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson wants to be a freaking rapper. They haven't got anything done. How come after the Rodney King riots, there was not some type of policy on the table to, if police officers were, with all the carnage that happened after the 92 riots, how come there wasn't some type of policy? Yeah, I'm coming, Richie. How come there wasn't some type of policy on the table? Some type of policy set forth on the table that if police officers were to hurt somebody black in a manner in which we saw it would be considered a federal hate crime, they would instantly lose their pension and their retirement. That stuff would have went down right away. But why is that bill or something pushed? How come it's not on the table to be pushed through federal and state law? And the reason why I'm saying that, listen to me, y'all. Please listen to me. In America, you're never going to get rid of racism. You can't train racism out of the minds of people because America's history is ingrained in racism. Racism is the American way. Racism is American history. Listen, it's American history. It's not going nowhere. And you guys need to understand that. So the way that you get justice is you severely punish those whites who practice racism on black people. And the reason I'm gonna tell you why you have to do it, and why you guys are going to have to get off your lazy asses and push this. The same way we're conditioned and trained to respond a certain way to racism, white people from the time they're born are trained to be racist in a certain way. Through the education, through institutions, through everything. Through economically, they're trained to reign supreme, to be on top. It's part of their rearing. White people are used to telling us what to do, how to do, and what to do. And we're used to being told what to do, how to do. So if you get a racist cop that does something, what stops a white person from witnessing it? He may be racist. What stops the district attorney? That district attorney could be racist. What stops the judge from being racist? Even your lawyer that's representing you. That's all part of white America. That's not willing to give up their privilege that they know exists. So what I'm saying to you guys is, white people don't have the right to police or govern you. How can you guys allow in 2020 with all the stuff that we know, you allow white America to police and govern you? How? So you looted. You got mad, you tore up the city, you looted. So now the question is, you want to go back to trusting in white people to govern you, to lord over you? Huh? You're not going to push to get nothing pushed that you have where you have some type of power. Because anything that happens to you on behalf of white people in this country should be considered racist or hate crime based off of our experiences with white people in America. Based off of our experiences with white people in America, anything that happens with black people could damn near be considered a hate crime. How does white people get the benefit of the doubt, knowing the ingrained historical racism? So if a white person calls me a nigger, or a white cop roughs me up and tackles me to the ground, how do I know if he didn't have racist intent? If I'm not given a job that I was highly qualified for, how would I know if it's not racist intent? Huh? How would I know? See, y'all not thinking, man. Y'all not thinking clearly. So you tear up everything, and then you're going to go back to work. You're going to go right back to work, right up under the foot of the same system that you just rebelled against. Instead of getting in the street to say everything that I'm saying now. You do not own the right You do not own the right to police me. You don't own the right to be my judge in your courtrooms. You don't own the right to be my district attorney. Why does our black leadership keep allowing this? How come they keep doing psychological evaluations on us? How come look only Dolce, how come they keep being able to do psychological evaluations on us? Huh? But we don't get to speak back and say, who are you to do the psychological evaluations on the black community and black people? We still allow them to do it. And this is why they won't change. No. It depends on what city. In Philadelphia, in the black cities, inside the urban areas, we was looting. I'm not going to let nobody say that. Yes, it was. Inside the urban areas, we was looting. In the downtown districts where all that shit costs money, that was white people looting. Center City, those buildings, that was white folk. Inside the hoods, it was black people. Inside our hoods, it was us. White people ain't coming down to our hoods like that. You know when you saw the white people, wait till I put this video up tomorrow. You saw the white people doing the cleanup when it was daytime, early in the morning when the sun was up. They was in West Philly and North Philly and Germantown Avenue helping them with the cleanup. But in the hoods, it was us. In the city areas where you have those multi-million-dollar stores, that was white people tearing that shit up. You know why? Because for the most part, black folks already know. For the most part. You have some black folks sprinkled in there, but they already know the consequences of what's going to happen when they go down there to those multi-million-dollar businesses. Do you know Saturday, man, they had some places set up where they wouldn't let the police through, but then some of the areas, the Southwest and other places, man, the police didn't even come. The police wasn't, they just stayed away. The police didn't even go. I got video that you guys won't see. And when I went live Saturday, they was just out there broad daylight looting. Wasn't no police in sight. They was all downtown protecting the businesses downtown. They didn't give a fuck about the businesses in West Philly or North Philly. They cared about South Philly where the Italians live and Center City. That's what they cared about. But you guys are going to have to care. You guys are going to have to care more about your own well-being. And I'm telling you, white people shouldn't have the right to govern over us. And the only way, and watch this ain't even being racist. This is just being real talk. White people shouldn't have the right to police our communities. White people don't have the mental fortitude. White people need psychological evaluations on how they view black people. So by us knowing that Oni, by us knowing that Doug, by us knowing that Water Sniper, how can we trust white people to police our communities? How is it all of a sudden okay for white people to police black people? Huh? But guess what? The black church and the black community allows it. Now I could say we need to be outside marching with the intent or else, but I seen the looting, organized looting, but after this, all I see is organized confusion again. Now what? Now what? It's Wednesday. The hoods is quiet again, back quiet. Nobody's making no moves. But the ball is in our court right now. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching, waiting to see if we're going to rise up. They waiting. Everybody's waiting for us, man. They waiting, Water Sniper. I want to lead a charge. I want to lead a charge. I don't want no white people. I want all black people. All black people and some Puerto Ricans, because in North Philly and South Philly, they live with us. Just no Dominicans, no them other groups, just all black and some Puerto Ricans here in Philadelphia. All outside Center City. Questioning black leadership. That's what I want. I want to see it right. I want to see if it can be done. Can it be done? Are we willing to do it? We telling white people, this part of the protest ain't for y'all. What I need you to do is go out to your county and echo our sentiments to other white people. I don't even know. Some people say Antifa. Some people say Black Lives Matter. But I know. I'm in Philadelphia, so I can't speak for other cities. But black and Puerto Rican, not Dominicans, but black and Puerto Ricans for the most part, march and fight together. They always have, because we always live together in the same hoods and ghettos and everything else. So their problems is our problems. You go to Philadelphia, you want to see Dominican stores everywhere. Puerto Ricans is poorer than black people. I think that I don't know who organized that stuff, Water Sniper. But we need to have some representation in Newark, New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York City, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. We need to have some representation from Washington, D.C. up to New York through Boston. And something needs to be said now. There needs to be some type of movement. We need to have scores of black people. Because after the movement, now what? And we need to be calling out black leadership. Some of us can take the stand, but some of us can't because of our backgrounds and our records. They'll try to discredit us and destroy us. So what I need is some upstart young men and women that ain't afraid, that can be coached up by some of the OGs. See, because they'll just pull up my past and say, who is this guy? But see, if I get somebody like my little brother to do it, we stand to protect him. But we got to take a stand. Dr. King and them was young. Stokely Carmichael and them was young. Little Bobby Hutton and them was young. The world is watching Chicago. What are y'all going to do? Y'all going to still continue to gangbang and say y'all don't give a fuck? Or are you going to do something about it? What are you doing? You don't need them white folks in Chicago locking down the highway. Right now, you can get 100,000 black people in Chicago out of that 1 million black people that live in Chicago. You get 100,000 of them and take them and move them around. See, and I'm gonna tell you something, which y'all need to see before I get out of here in a couple minutes, right? I gotta go over to my brother Richie channel, Black Ice TV channel. What y'all need to understand is, if CNN MSNBC, Donald Trump and his cronies saw hundreds of thousands of black people, black men and women and girls, all across black cities beginning to move on one accord. Do you know how much fear that will put in their heart? They're not afraid. Listen to me. They're not afraid that we looted. They don't give a fuck that we looted. They're going to replace all of that. Their biggest fear is seeing us move together on one accord. Their biggest fear is seeing black men in Philadelphia not gunning each other down and now walking together. Their biggest fear is seeing Stones and GDs not fighting each other. Vice lords all meeting up together. Four corner hustlers all moving together in unison, saying that we don't trust y'all to govern over us anymore. That's their biggest fear. Their biggest fear is seeing Haitians and African Americans in Miami saying we ain't fighting no more. Huh? All in the Bronx and Brooklyn, standing outside the municipal buildings saying we don't need white people to march on behalf of us. We don't even need the black leadership that has failed us. We got our own voice. We're responsible for our own children that we got now. There's been a colossal failure within the black community of black leadership. And now we're taking the man on the stand. The Black Caucus and the Black Church have failed us. So now we have to come out and take matters into our own hands. And we believe that white America and white police officers don't have the right to govern us anymore within our communities. White people need psychological evaluations before they can be around black people. Because if there's any type of crime in the near future committed against anybody black, it should be a federal hate crime. Because black people, white people have never been psychologically evaluated. They've never been psychologically evaluated. Who said that white people were sane to teach us? Who said that white people were sane enough to govern over us and police us? Why have we allowed it for so many years? Why have black leadership allowed it for so many years? Who said that white women were sound enough mentally to teach our babies, knowing that they've been raised up? Their Santa Claus is white. Their Jesus has been white. Everything associated with greatness around them has been white. They've been reared to see themselves as first all the time, and us as subordinate. And all of a sudden, they get to police us, and we allow it. So now we looted. But now I ask you now, what? In your cities. Where you at, St. Louis? Where you at, LA? Where you at, Houston? Huh? Are you just sitting back now, waiting for the political structure to see what they do and trusting these judges again, only to be let down? Remember, the Ahmaud Arbery case, it went on deaf ears. It went on deaf ears until it hit nationwide. Breonna Taylor's case went on deaf ears, and those police officers that we trust to police us took her boyfriend and put that man in jail when they knew they had the wrong house. They knew he was shooting in self-defense with a registered gun, legally registered gun, but they still charged that man and put that man in prison. And you tell me that white America has the right to govern black people? We keep saying it's us that have to change, but not them. They're conditioned to be racist from the time they exit the womb. America is racist. You're never going to get rid of the systemic stench of racism in America. It's not going to happen. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all got to wake up. So now the ball is in your court. And all the cities that you in, who's willing to organize? Huh? H. Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, when all them was young. They was young college kids. Who's willing to organize now? Or you want to let other groups that don't have your best interest organize for you? But then you sit back and complain when things go wrong. Huh? You want black kids, black boys to stop shooting each other? Give them a frame of reference for who they should aspire to be. Huh? You want black boys to stop shooting each other? Organize the Bloods and the Crips. Organize the Stones. Organize the gangs and have them marching together so young kids can see it and say, I want to be something greater than the murder of my own people. I came to be greater. Huh? Give young black boys a frame of reference of what it is to be great. Are you willing to organize? Are you willing to take the stand? Or are you just sitting home watching CNN, watching the corrupt news networks, watching them tell lies? Huh? That's what you're doing? That's what we're doing? We're watching them tell lies and spin a story, spin our narrative the way they want to spin it, because we ain't willing to take charge. The world is watching. Everybody's waiting. The ancestors is waiting. They open up the door. The door is open. We need to organize. Yep. I'm thinking about I'm really thinking about organizing down at City Hall, man. I don't give a damn if I got 50 people. We got to get some black people to move. It's time to mobilize. It's time to mobilize. Who said that white America has a right to teach us anything? Who said this white America is psychologically capable of teaching black people anything? I need somebody to answer that question for me. That's the $1 million question. I need somebody, Craig Harper, Water Sniper, Michael Moran, Simply Unique, Only Doche. Somebody answer this for me. Who said that white America was capable of teaching black America anything? Huh? Who said they was? Who said they was? Huh? So we're watching a black man in the park and a white woman call the police on him. Do you guys know I was riding Uber back in 2016, the summer of 2016, right? This is a true story. I had 2 white guys in the car, and I dropped the white guys off up by the college campus. And this white lady was pulling out the parking spot, and she almost hit my car because she wasn't paying attention. This white lady drove up behind my car like 100 miles an hour and stopped, jumped out the car and started cussing at me. Mother effer, all this, all crazy white lady, right? So I'm looking at her, and I was kind of shocked. Now, mind you, it was like 11:30 at night, and the block is dark. Let me tell you what this white woman said to me. She cussing me out, mother effer, and fuck this and nigger, all everything, right? So I'm looking like, what the hell? This white lady's crazy. I was like, listen, lady, get back in your car and get up out of here. You got the wrong person. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff you talking about. She's like, I'm going to call the cops, and they're going to believe me because you're black and I'm white, and I'm a white woman. That's exactly what she told me. So she said it, and then she said it again, and she came kind of like approached me. So the 2 white guys, college kids, was getting out the car, and they seen everything. And prior to me dropping them off, I was playing some old school hip hop. I was playing KRS-One, I think, Love's Gonna Get You. And they was like, dude, what's that? That's a dope tune. You know how white people talk. It's like, yeah, we never heard. They was like 19, 20. So they had never heard Love's Gonna Get You, but they liked the song. So I was talking to them about the old school music. So they got out the car and they had to get like a suitcase out the trunk. And that's when the white lady came up and her crazy demonic stuff, right? So she said, I'm gonna call the cops on you. And they're gonna believe me because I'm a white woman and you're a black man. And the 2 white kids was like, no, you ain't. We're witnesses. And she turned around and was shocked. Let me tell you something. She turned around and looked at them 2 white boys as if they was fucking traitors to the race. How dare you go against me for this nigga? That's how she looked at them. And the 2 white boys told her, you can't do that because what did the white boy say? I'm gonna quote him right. He said, you're a racist and I'm not. And that's embarrassing to me. You're not gonna accuse this man of something that he didn't do. So she got in her car and backed down the block and like walked away or whatever. So I looked at them and I said, thank you. Yeah, she came with the fire behind her, just pure demon. And the white boys, the 2 white boys, they spoke up on my behalf or whatever. And I learned something that day, and that's what I'm saying. What I learned that day was white people's march is not with us. White people's march is with their own people. So white people have to govern white people. Black people have to govern black people. Yeah. It got real intense, Jim Denson. I never forget that day. And and I was kind of checking her, like telling her, get the fuck out of here. Like, and she was like walking up on me and shit. And yeah, the white boy stepped in and told her she was an embarrassment. Like, you're an embarrassment. And they apologized to me and shit and everything. But they was like, young white kids down with the hip hop shit, trying to be down or whatever. So they spoke up. But I'm kind of glad that they was there that day. Yeah, Twin Man, Twin Man, the ball is in our court right now, bro. I will open it up, but I gotta get out of here in a minute. I gotta go over to I want everybody to go over to Black Ice TV 7 channel. I'm ready to go over there. They got some stuff going on over there. I actually gotta. He sent me the link. I gotta go appear on this channel. But I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna work on something now. I want to organize because I really want to know. I want somebody to answer this question for me. Who's giving white people the right to judge us? I mean, that's a real question. How is white people psychologically capable of judging black people? George, I would be with you, but they won't allow me back in the country with you. Which why I'm sitting on the feds using our color as pig food. Yeah, I agree. So we gotta, we gotta unify all these white allies, but don't hear any of them saying give the white cop the death penalty. No. I heard one lady say that. That's it, just one lady. But I just think that what I think we got to do, Twin Man, is we got to if white people say that they're allies, we got to make them prove it to us. But the only way we can make them prove it to us is for us to come up off our lazy asses. And that's why I can't wait till I put the video up tomorrow, because I'm getting back on these streets. I'm gonna go down here and get my cousin's bullhorn. I'm going out here, man, because I want to know. I want somebody to tell me. I want somebody to tell George Macon what gives white people the right to govern and police black communities, teach in the schools, even still preach to us the word of God. What gives white people the right to do that? And the white power structure in America, if they say that they want change, they should recognize this and say there's going to have to be white people, as far as schooling wise. There's going to have to, the real reform is going to have to be the reform of the minds of white people around black people. If there's any crimes against white people will be considered by white people against black people, it would be considered a federal hate crime until further notice, because of the mindset of white America. That's only going to get pushed if we push it. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. Hit that Cash App if y'all can, man. Support Black News Media, man. I'm gonna be out here in the streets, man. That's my Cash App there. Money sign George Macon 2. I want to thank y'all for coming out. Look forward for my premiere tomorrow. I'm premiering my video tomorrow. Philadelphia war zone. All hell broke loose. It's gonna be an hour and a half. Me going all around the city. I'm gonna be down Dope Fiend. I'm gonna be in Dope Fiend Park. You won't get a chance to see all. Philadelphia, the largest open air opioid market on the planet. I was down there. Kingston in Indiana, Kingston in Orleans. I was in Dope Fiend Park. You get a chance to see all the white opioid abuses that they don't like to show. I mean, shooting dope in the middle of the streets. It was vicious. Those areas has a lot of stores down there, but they was not ransacked because that's a multi-million-dollar area, and most of the people ain't gonna go down there and destroy no property. They had the police there. They burned down the building. But when you go down there, it looks like the Bronx or the South Side Chicago in 1989. That's what it looks like. All the way in 2020. Police just sitting there, they shooting up dope, having sex on the corner. It's wild. But guess what? It's mainly white people. White people. Right down Dope Fiend Lane and Dope Fiend Island. Dope Fiend Park. I was down there and I was out there talking to the youngins that was out there. They was on the block. They ready to rock, but they waiting for the big homies to step up. Like the young boy said, he said, we just need direction. We tired of being crash dummies. Young boy asked me, he said, where y'all at? We tired of being in crash dummies. Where y'all at? That's what he asked. So remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves, and I pray to the universal creator most high that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information, and when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information, man. I hope that you talk about this with your family. Talk about it with your wife, anybody that you could talk about it. Take this video and share it on your Facebook pages. Share it out there. People need to hear this message, man. We need to unify. We need to unite. I need people hearing my voice and seeing my face across the country, because I don't have to be in your city to unite, but somebody can hear George Macon saying what I'm saying. They may be inspired to unify where they at. Doug may stop simping. Doug may even stop simping and unify where he at. Craig Harper might unify where he at. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, they out there with backs and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I gotta get to this other channel, man. Thanks for coming, man. Peace.